My name's David Avitia. I'm a catcher, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, what's up? Welcome into Bird's Eye View. It's Sunday, so we're here on the stage. Scotty Gange, I'll be your host for today, alongside the starting pitcher in Game 1, Mr. Jared Schuster. First off, thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
We have a fun game today. I know you shaved last night. That's a ritual for you before every start, huh?
Yeah, every start I usually shave the morning of and just get ready, mentally prepare for the start.
Is that all you do? Do you have a whole routine that you have the night before or the morning of?
Not really, just shaving, probably stretching the night before, a little bit of that.
So I know last week you pitched 5 innings. There was no earned runs, 4 Ks, and I asked you after, how was it pitching with David Avitia, who's going to be your catcher again tonight? He said he helped you a lot, caught you a lot of strikes, and stole you a lot of strikes. Are you excited to do that again tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always excited for David to catch me. Any of the catchers on the team do a great job, but David, the first game, he was awesome, so I'm excited for that again.
Yeah, of course, that was only a few days into your campaign here in Orleans, and a week later, here you are on another doubleheader, pitching to him again. Have your guys' chemistry grown at all in that 7 days?
Yeah, definitely. We've been hanging out a lot as a team and doing a lot more things together. Like the other day, we went to the beach together as a team, so it's been a lot of fun.
So I know you guys have had kind of a whirlwind of a week. Since last Sunday, you guys have played 2 games in 7 days. There's been rainouts, fogouts, weird games here. Yeah. But finally, we get a sunny day in Orleans, and you're on the bump. What are you expecting out of yourself today?
I'm excited. Hopefully, I can continue off the strong start I had to the season. Just work off that.
I know you've been working with head coach Matt Troop pitching coach Matt Troop and head coach Kelly Nicholson. They're all about breathe, slowing down on the mound, and it seems like in your first start, you kind of already had that locked in. Have you kind of learned more of how I'm doing that with them in this 7 days?
Yeah, definitely. We do those breathing drills before home games and stuff, and that definitely helps slowing down the game and resetting after a bad pitch or giving up a hit or anything like that.
Double headers, I know it's a 7-inning game. Of course, you're not going to be pitching all 7 as the starters have gone 3-5 this entire season. But does that change your mentality at all on the mound?
Not really. I just want to give the team my best effort for 5 innings or however long I'm out there.
You excited to go?
Definitely.
All right, go get ready, man. Once again, appreciate the starting pitcher for Game 1, Jared Schuster, coming on. Now we've got a special guest, Mr. Gabe Genovese, the broadcaster for the Wareham Gatemen. You've got 2 games today. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm ready to play some baseball, man. I'm ready to call some baseball. It's been a weird week. Mm-hmm. It's been a weird week.
It's hard to get a groove. I know we were just talking about that, and the fact that you go to the ballpark, you are just about to start a game, and they call it. It's just very awkward. I know it's awkward for us. It must be awkward for the coaches and players as well.
It is. We were talking about us, just how we prep all day and then get to the ballpark and can't play. Yeah. For these guys, it's not an off day. They're not getting to enjoy anything. They show up to the ballpark, they go through all their routines. We take BP, starting pitchers are ready, and we get rained out. Or we played 5 innings the other night and then fogged out.
It's not real baseball. Really.
No, it's been a weird week.
Yeah, and I've been talking to the starting pitchers. Like just now, you saw Jared Schuster come on. He said that, in the mornings he shaves before he starts. Let's say he shaved, he got all ready, he got his mind ready, and then it's not going to rain today. There's not a cloud in the sky. But what if it rains right before? He just wasted a good shave.
He wasted a good shave. Exactly. And that's what all these guys have been dealing with. Maybe not the shaving part, but their whole routines and everything. It's been weird.
How about Wareham? You guys have had a quality season. Of course, not many games this year, but what is Orleans expecting to see tonight out of them?
Starting pitcher right now for Wareham is supposed to be Ian Bedell, who had a fantastic first start for Wareham. Went 4 2/3 scoreless in his first start. Adam Missouri had an under 2 ERA with the Tigers in the SEC. So we look for more good stuff out of him today. And really, 1-9 in this Wareham lineup thus far. The offense has been solid. The hitting has really put together strings of runs. We've had a 9-run 8th inning, a 6-run 2nd inning. Wareham had the worst average in the league through 2 games. I know it was only 2 games, but and now it's the best average in the league. They've had double-digit hits every game, but 1, I believe, since those first 2 games, and it's really been a good year.
I know the first time that Orleans and Wareham matched up, it started as a hitter's duel and then ended as a pitcher's duel, and the fact that it went 10 innings as a final tie. I believe it was 7-7. How has Wareham changed from that game to today?
I'll go back to the offense. I just think it's those runs. It's that that complementary baseball that everybody's playing, really advancing runners, someone coming through with a clutch hit. I think that's really been the key thus far. And again, it seems like Wareham scores in spurts. It's been
Right.
3-run innings, 6-run inning, 9-run inning. It's all come together.
With a guy like Darren Baker, he was the Cape Cod Baseball League Player of the Week for Week 1. I don't even know if they can award one for Week 2. There's barely been any baseball, but he's a standout. Who else should we be watching for tonight?
Yeah, Baker's a standout, and Braden Ward out of Washington. Again, we haven't played many games, but in his 5 games, already 6 RBIs in 5 games, has a hit in every game, hitting over 400. He'll bat leadoff, and like I said, he's gone on in every game. He's done his job. His speed is incredible down the first base line. He's already stolen 4 bases in 5 games. That's another, and that's that little 1-2 punch right there.
Right.
Ward will lead it off.
You say
Baker,
they score in spurts.
Ward will lead it off. Baker will hit second, and hopefully the middle of the lineup can do their job.
It's exciting to see. It's going to be exciting to watch. We've got 2 games today. After Game 1, stay tuned for the Bird's Eye View post-game show. Your partner, Jonah Karp, he's coming on after Game 1. And after Game 2, maybe we'll get you back on there. How does that sound?
Hey, sounds good to me.
Looking forward to it. Gabe Genovese here on Bird's Eye View, the pregame show. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you.
My name is Donovan Benoit. I'm a right-handed pitcher, and a fun fact about me is I lived in 5 different states and 8 different cities.
Hi, my name is Zach Akoska. I play outfield, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
My name is AJ Lewis. I'm a utility player for the Orleans Firebirds, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, before we start here in this Bird's Eye View segment, we're going to switch chairs because I took your good
my
side.
good side.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
switch.
We'll
Do
switch.
it.
Yep.
We keep these up.
Oh, yeah. I hope that didn't lose focus.
Woo! Hopefully we're good.
Pitching coach
Do you
Matt
need-
Troop.
do you
Scotty
need to
Gaines.
check it, or
Yeah,
we
we
good?
should probably check it. We're
Yeah,
going
check
to
it real
speed
quick.
through it right
Yeah,
now.
It'll come out.
Again, pitching coach Matt Troop, Scotty Gaines, welcome back into Bird's Eye View. Sundays from
The stage.
Sundays from the stage.
Yeah, I remember that. You told me about 10
and then
seconds ago.
Saturdays are from where?
Center field.
It's just from center.
Center, same thing.
Center field is too
Same
long.
thing.
I can't make
That
it. I
is
can't
too
write
long.
that down.
You're
Okay,
right.
let's
It
talk about
doesn't-
the game
it doesn't-
today.
yeah.
We've got 2 of them. We got Noah Schuster on the mound, or Jared Schuster, excuse me. Noah
Yep.
Schuster's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Jared Schuster on the mound today. What are we thinking from him?
Looking forward to getting him back on the mound. I mean, just looking forward to get back here in general. We had was it 2 games ago? We had a tough little fog game.
Yeah.
And then last night we ended up having double lightning delay with a rain delay with a
And then it was dark and there was
Yeah,
dog barking.
I think we
and-
played 3.5 innings. So looking forward to getting back out here. Looking forward to getting Schuster back out. His last outing against Bourne was pretty special. He commanded the zone with 3 pitches. He went through 5 innings and 53 pitches. He was pretty lights out. So he sets a very good pace out there, very good tempo, and our fielders love that, and our catcher loves that. So we're looking forward to replicating that and building on the last outing. And then we have everyone hot in the
Yeah.
bullpen because, like I said,
They're
we've had
hot,
all
hot.
these games. They're hot, man. They're hot. We've had all these games canceled and delayed, and we got guys off of 5 or 6 days rest as bullpen guys. So we like where we're at, definitely. And then we have Skiro game 2. So we're excited. We're excited to get everybody up on the mound today.
You mentioned that Jared is a quick worker, and
Oh, yeah.
Skiro is too, and we saw that last week. And
yeah.
is that kind of why we're putting them out there on the doubleheader, kind of speed things along, or is it just kind of coincidental?
Yeah, it just happened to work out that way. They actually had the other doubleheader too, so it's kind of perfect that they got to do that. Both games flew by, I guess knock on wood, whatever. I don't believe in that, but it flew
got a lot
flew
of it
by
here if
a
you need
lot.
to, yeah.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not a believer. But yeah, they worked really quick, and just so happens that here we are again on a Sunday, another doubleheader day, and those 2 guys are back up on the mound. So there's definitely some things that we could build on from the last outing, but both did outstanding. So we're looking forward to it.
So this is the 3rd try for Game 10 of the season through, I
geez.
guess, the first 9 official games.
Right.
What have you learned about yourself as a coach here?
As a coach, just it's something that I always pride myself on is my ability to continue learning in this and adapting to surroundings, but always being willing to take things from each individual that I come in contact with. Every player in our team, they're coming from outstanding programs across the country with all different kinds of pitching coaches with different philosophies and even pitch grips, all these different things. So being able to make sure every game that I touch each individual in our staff in some way, some form of conversation, asking how they're feeling, whatever it may be, and then creating some conversation around that. And a lot of things pop up when even when you just have a conversation with somebody. So I'm certainly learning that. Yeah, I mean, and then we have Al Leiter out here today, so another person that I got to talk to, and I met him 6 years ago when I was out here playing. He comes and talks to the Birds every summer. So yeah, always open-minded. I talk a lot, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. You probably make fun of me all the time for that. So
We do on this show.
Yes, yeah. I saw
When
a
you're
couple.
not on
I saw a couple bits in the past. Thanks, Scotty. But yeah, there's bits and pieces. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's not one thing. Something from every individual already, and every day I make it a point to leave the field. When I'm going to sleep at night, hopping in a little journal that I put together. I better have something. And if I didn't, I truly feel like I failed on the day.
Is this journal something you're learning in terms of baseball, or sort of more of kind of influencing others?
Yeah, I mean, it could be something that I learned from someone as far as pitch grip, this and that, and I put it in there to remember. Sometimes it's a conversation that I had with an individual, and I thought I got a good response. Like even if it's just talking to them as a human being and seeing how they react to it, right? I mean, if you get them locked in, like how did I do that? Because every individual in our team responds differently to certain things, whether it be criticism, whether it just be certain language in a conversation. So even stuff like that, like if I talk to Noah, if I talk to Skiro and something came up where I thought I got a good response, like oh yeah, type thing. I can even jot that down in my journal and go, hey, he responds well to to this type of conversation, and maybe some guys I have to be a little bit tougher on, stuff like that. So everyone's each individual. Something I've learned over the years of coaching. If I can come away from the field at night with something every day, then I feel good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with you and the fact that lots of coaches would come out here and they want to help a guy get a better curveball. But you're out here, and we've talked about this before. Yeah. You want to help, pitcher one improve in terms of A, B, and C, and pitcher two in X, Y, and Z. And it's so different in just every way you approach these guys and all that.
Oh yeah.
Where did that begin for you?
As far as that understanding, that process behind it, from Greg Moore. I spent my 5th year at Cal State Northridge, and he was a type of coach that I'd never had before, and he really, as a coach, sometimes you feel like you can't cross that line all the time of that relationship, that friendship almost, right, with your player. You think sometimes you got to be that coach, boom, boom. I found out from him very quickly that he is himself all the time, which is very energetic, outgoing. It doesn't even have to be baseball related. It could just be life, from human being to human being. And I love that as a player. I felt like he truly had my back, like he truly cared, because he cared about all the other stuff too, not just baseball. I mean, as a coach, we always want to win, no doubt, but, we want to develop these kids, even further beyond baseball field, because unfortunately for a lot of them that won't be an opportunity long term. Making the big leagues is difficult. Obviously, there's that stat. It's a stat on Twitter. I don't recall the number. I can't throw it out there, but they said that all the major leaguers was a certain number, and I'm just thinking that's half
19,000 ever in the history of the universe.
And that's half of a stadium that's filled up. It's more than, sorry, I'm going to shout them out, more than a Rays stadium, much more than that. So when you put it into perspective like that, it's pretty crazy. So having a coach like that really developed me as a person, means a lot. So that's a big part of this thing, man. I mean, you have some of these kids for 4 years, from freshman to senior year. How are you affecting their lives beyond the game of baseball? And I learned that from Greg Moore, and can't thank him enough.
My short time of holding the microphone, of course I'm wearing the Orleans Firebirds polo, but I've covered lots of different teams.
Too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't really like this thing, but whatever. Yeah. It's all right. It's breathable. But in my short time wearing this polo, I've gotten to hang out with the Orleans Firebirds coaches, but I've also seen lots of other coaches and all that. And I think you, Kelly, Q, and all the coaches here are kind of defining what a coach really should be. So for me, watching firsthand and getting to see a little more, just a little less than all the players get to see, it's very fun for me, and I appreciate just learning, secondhand off of you guys. So first off, thanks for the time.
Of course.
And then thanks for the lessons that I get to learn watching on the sidelines. So
yeah, well, there's not many people that work as hard as you, man. So you keep doing your thing. In all seriousness, to the viewer out there, this guy's got a bright future. So if you need to throw that on a resume, there you go, right there.
All right, yeah,
boom,
I'm gonna
that little bit,
right forever. That's gonna go my Twitter tweet right there.
I mean it, man. I really do. So
Thank
appreciate
you so much. Yep. Good luck today.
Thank
you.
Got
two ball games.
Let's do it,
finally.
Man. Let's get them.
Let's play some baseball, you guys.
Not a cloud in the sky in Orleans, Massachusetts. After consecutive rainouts, the Orleans Firebirds return home to Eldridge Park to play a doubleheader against the West Division foe, Wareham Gateman, on a gorgeous afternoon in Orleans, Massachusetts. Alongside my broadcast partner, Thomas Inzarella, I'm Josh White. And Thomas, we've had some frustrating last few days here at the ballpark and across Cape Cod. Orleans has actually been pretty lucky, all things considered. A rain out on Thursday night, on Friday night. Last night at Brewster, they played about 3.5 innings before it was called due to darkness after some rain and some fog, but no chance of rain in the forecast today, and the Firebirds and Gateman will play 2 this afternoon.
Well, this is what Cape Cod weather is supposed to be. Sunny skies and just baseball. So glad to be back here on the airwaves and ready to broadcast some baseball. Of course, yesterday was cut short in Brewster, and with the rain and everything, even hail around some parts of the Cape, small balls of hail just coming down from the sky. So, I think everybody's fed up with the weather at this point. We just want sunny skies, baseball, and beach weather for sure.
So the Firebirds will enter today's first game of the doubleheader 4-4-1 with 9 points. The East Division a cluster right now. That ties the Birds for 4th place. And in the West, Wareham atop the West Division at 5-3-1 with 11 points. Let's look at today's starting matchup. Jared Schuster, the southpaw from Wake Forest, will make his second start of the summer opposite of right-hander Ian Bedell from Iowa. And Schuster got the nod in Game 1 of last week's doubleheader. The rising junior out of Wake Forest through 5 innings of shutout baseball, only surrendered 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out 4. We'll go up against the Wareham lineup that leads the Cape in batting average so far to start the summer. They're batting .290, and their lineup shakes out like this. Braden Ward, the center fielder, leads things off. Darren Baker, the second baseman, bats second. Dallas Beaver in the 3-spot, Hillman third base. Those will be the 3 batters due up here in the first. Lefty on lefty matchup to start the ball game. It's pretty much exclusively left-handed bats in this Wareham lineup. The first pitch, fastball misses low at 3 o'clock p.m. And we are underway here at Eldridge Park. Schuster at 6'3", 210 pounds, facing off against Braden Ward out of Washington. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Ward batting .412 across his first 5 games for the Gatemen. Merced, California native, taking his time at just 5'10", $155. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Patrick Burns behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Rich Gaitse in the first base umpire, and Mickey Garcia at third. Here's the 2-1. It's a fastball popped on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Danny Soretti battling the sun makes the two-handed grab on the outfield grass for the first out of the ball game.
Well, last time we were at Eldridge Park, it wasn't trying to circumvent the sun, but the fog and the wind and the rain and basically everything in between. So I'm sure these Orleans Firebirds fielders are happy to see sun out and with minimal clouds in the sky.
It's now Darren Baker, the second baseman, will dig in from the left side. Here's the first pitch. Baker shows bunt and pulls back on the fastball that misses low for ball 1. Baker first in the Cape in batting average so far this summer, batting an even .400. He qualifies at bats-wise. Braden Ward does not. The 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball up in the zone. Check swing from Baker that will peel down to third. He went around, and the count's 1-1. Talked about it the first time the Firebirds and the Gatemen reached when they met on June 14th, 9 days ago. Darren, the son of Dusty Baker, 1-1, chop to the right side. Danny Soretti charging in, fields it on the run. Overhand throw to first base, and there's 2 away.
So Soretti, he's technically did not. This is technically his first Cape League start and appearance. Obviously, yesterday he was in the lineup, but it was rained out. So Soretti so far already busy there at second base, recording the first 2 outs in this top of the first.
So now Dallas Beaver, who might be one of the best names in the entire country, digs in for the left side. Here's the first pitch from Schuster. It's a fastball lined the other way, tailing down the third base side, and lands in fair territory for a base hit. Beaver takes the turnaround first. He'll retreat back to the bag, but a Texas League bloop single for Dallas Beaver.
Yeah, Beaver using every inch on that left field side down there in the grass, just able to push it down in fair territory and drop in for a base hit.
Beaver now 4 for his first 8 to start his Cape Cod 2019 campaign. With the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless, 1 on and 2 out here in the top of the first. First pitch to Adrian Del Castillo. Fastball paints the inside corner for strike 1. Del Castillo behind the plate today for the Gatemen. He's batting $190 through his first 5 games for Wareham. Out of the University of Miami, high school teammates and college teammates with Ray Gill. 0-1, a breaker in there for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. It'll be Cam Guangarain to the DH to follow. Jacob Teeter in the 6th spot, he'll play first. Mike Antico, the left fielder, batting 7th. Ben Stems, the shortstop, hitting 8th, and the right fielder, Matt Rudick, in the 9th spot. 0-2 to Del Castillo, fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it again. Del Castillo, a freshman All-American by both Collegiate Baseball Newspaper and Perfect Game. Had 72 RBIs this past season for the Hurricanes. Most by a Hurricanes freshman since Yonder Alonso in 2006. 0-2 smacked the other way, and slicing out of play, and it'll trickle onto the highway in Orleans. And we'll do it again. No score between Wareham and Orleans in the second of 4 meetings this summer. Third one will come 30 minutes after game 1 of the doubleheader. Fourth will come a little later in July. Schuster set at the chest. Here's the 0-2. Fastball runs up and in, and it's 1-2. Schuster, his last time around for the Firebirds, 5 scoreless innings, only allowed 1 hit in the first game of that doubleheader against Bourne. Struck out 4, and it was on Father's Day. 0-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Del Castillo couldn't catch up to the heater up in the zone, and the side is retired. So Jared Schuster works around a 2-out blue single as the Gatemen score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. Firebirds coming up here at Eldridge Park. No score between Wareham and Orleans. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. The Orleans Firebirds and the Wareham Gatemen scoreless as we head to the home half of the first. Let's take a look at the Orleans Firebirds lineup. It's on your screen right there. A couple highlights in the lineup for the Firebirds. Their cleanup man, Max Troiani, batting .355. Top 5 in the Cape with that batting average. And Danny Soretti in the 7-hole. He'll make his Cape Cod Baseball League debut after yesterday's game was unofficial after a little more than 3.5 innings. So the Firebirds going to go up against Ian Bedell, the right-hander from Iowa, who's 1-0 on the summer and has not given up an earned run so far. Eddie McCabe to lead things off for Orleans today, batting from the right side. McCabe hitting .214 across the first 5 games. Righty-on-righty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball misses low for ball 1. McCabe had some fun yesterday during the rain and the fog, was a star on Twitter. Gave us a good weather report. The 1-0, fastball line the other way, right at the first baseman. Jacob Teeter, who pulls it down for the first out of the home half of the first.
Yeah, Eddie McCabe and also Ray Gill having a good time during that first rain delay before the game started. Of course, McCabe out of Georgetown, comparing himself to Mac McClung, the talented freshman for the Georgetown Hoyas.
Zach Kokoska to dig in for the Firebirds. First pitch in there for a strike on the outer half. Kokoska might be the only Orleans Firebird player a little frustrated that yesterday's game got rained out. The 0-1, it's a fastball line down the left side and out of play, and it's 0-2. Kokoska, the lone Birds, hit yesterday before the game got called. He's batting .231 to start his 2019 Cape campaign. Righty on lefty matchup, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball well upstairs, runs through the screen and into the scout area at Eldridge Park, and it's 1-2.
Now that is something you don't see very often. We talk about it's been a wacky Cape season. There it is.
The 1-2, breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. Bedell had a curveball that hung on the outside part of the zone, and Kokoska fends at it for the second out of the inning. And if I'm a scout, I go sign Ian Bedell right now. He threw one through the netting. That's props. So there's 2 down in the home half of the first, with the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless in the first of 2 7-inning contests at Eldridge Park today. First pitch to Tanner Murray, misses up and away for ball 1. Murray out of UC Davis, hitting .211 across his first 5 games, starting his 6th consecutive contest for Orleans. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Murray, a home run in the last game the Birds played, a solo shot through the night fog at Eldridge Park. 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and away. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Let's give you the Gatemen defensive alignment. The outfield from left to right, Mike Antico, Braden Ward, and Matt Rudick. The infield, Dallas Beaver at third. The shortstop, Ben Sims. Darren Baker at second. Jacob Teeter at first. 3-0. Fastball misses outside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Tanner Murray, despite the catcher, Adrian Del Castillo, trying to frame it up.
We don't see that very often there. We're cruising through the first 2 outs again, and look like he's going to quick 1-2-3 and throws 4 straight balls to Murray.
First pitch to Max Troiani. He's swinging, lines a shot to right field. This is down for a base hit. Max Troiani continues to swing a hot stick. His 12th base hit of the summer. Firebirds have runners on first and second with 2 down.
We're just going to call him Singles Machine now on this broadcast. I know we bring it up every single time, but my goodness, he just anywhere he can spray the ball over the field, right side of the infield, through the right side, down the line. Can pull the ball.
Now Josh Zamora, the batter, who leads the Firebirds in RBIs with 5 in the early going. Trying to give Orleans a 1-0 lead in what's currently a scoreless ball game here at Eldridge Park. Zamora, the DH in game number 1 today. The first pitch, fastball catch to the outside corner for strike 1. It's actually Cam Guangarena behind the dish today, not Adrian Del Castillo. Del Castillo, the DH. They'll probably flip-flop in game 2. A late lineup change here for Jerry Weinstein. The 0-1, fastball misses outside. It's 1-1. Zamora hitting just a $172 so far this summer. Does have 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Righty on righty matchup. Bedell set at the chest. The 1-1. It's a fastball flared to right field. Rudick ranging back. Has this one lined up with plenty of space. Makes the grab. And this side is retired. Orleans with a little noise with 2 outs in the first inning. The Firebirds score no runs on 1 hit. And they leave 2 left on base. And after 1, the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless. Let's send it over to Scotty Gage.
I've got 3 points after the first inning. First off, happy birthday to you, my friend. 21, more like 20 fun. That's going to be a fantastic time. We're going to talk about that later. The second point is, God, what a beautiful day for baseball. Those streaming all across the country, they're jealous of us. Are you kidding me? I'm getting my tan on and watching baseball and reporting. What a special, special day. The third point, and I guess I could say the most important, is I talked to Kelly Nicholson before the game, and he says that because there's been so many rainouts, we're going to see every single pitcher on this team. Schuster and Skuro, they're going 3 innings apiece maximum, and then we're going to see just a new guy each and every inning. 14 innings to play today. Going to see about 8 or 9 pitchers for the Orleans Firebirds staff in the 2 games. Going to be exciting. What a great day. Josh, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I would like to beg to differ on the most important point you brought up.
Yeah, I know. I think
it might be the first one.
It's definitely not the first one, that's for sure.
I thought it was when we sent it to Scotty Gage, but
it might be the fact that I'm getting a tan and watching baseball and reporting. Yeah, Thomas, are you in on that?
I'm definitely in on that. Get that tan on, watch some baseball.
What a day, guys.
Top of the second we go here at Eldridge Park. Firebirds and Gatemen scoreless. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 here for Wareham with Cam Guangarena, the catcher, leading things off against Jared Schuster, who we just learned will go 3 innings today for Orleans after going 5 last week. And the Birds' first doubleheader of the summer. Orleans will have at least one more now in 2019 after today, after the Brewster game got rained out. First pitch to Cam Guangarena, a fastball in there for a strike. Guangarena behind the dish today for the Gatemen. The 0-1 fouled back, and it's quickly 0-2. So Schuster already a strikeout in this ball game. The 0-2 pitch, fastball up in the zone, and it's 1-2. Guangarena out of Cal State Fullerton, batting .292 this summer so far, playing in his 7th ball game. The 1-2, fastball up in the zone, and it's 2-2. It's been a doubles machine. We talk about how Max Trani has been all singles. Cam Guangarena, 3 doubles so far. 2-2. Breaker drops in there, strike 3. Gorgeous curveball from Jared Schuster, just painted the inside part of the plate. His 2nd K of the afternoon, and there's 1 down.
It's those secondary pitches that we saw back in Borna as well. Just totally freezes Guangarena. As a left-hander, it's just tough. It starts right at you and finishes inside corner. That stuff is just nasty.
It's now Jacob Teeter, who snatched a line drive in the field, will dig in. First pitch, a breaking ball that sits up in the zone for ball 1. Firebirds and Gatemen, nothing apiece with 1 away in the top of the 2nd. Teeter out of Florida Southern stands at 6'6", 230 pounds. The 1-0. It's a fastball skied back and out of play, and it's 1-1.
It's like Eric Fago's brother. Eric Fago from Brewster.
Eric Fago, TJ Collette on the Whitecaps with plenty of big boys on that squad. They're in first place right now, haven't lost in more than a week now after the rain out last night. The 1-1. It's a fastball tipped into Avidia's glove, and it's 1-2. And Schuster seems more confident after picking up that first K to end the first inning. Gets right back on the rubber, standing tall from the third base side out of the windup, the 1-2. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's 2-2. Teeter's reached base in 6 straight ball games now, 6 of his first 7. Batting .231 on the year. 2-2. Fastball hit hard to the right side. Diving stop by Seretti, but gets under the glove and trickles into shallow right center. Zach Daniels charges in to toss it in. Second base hit of the ball game for the Gatemen, and they have a 1-out base runner here in the 2nd.
Again, I know we said yesterday's broadcast, obviously not an official game, but in these shortened games, especially when they go 6 or 7 innings, obviously 7 here for the doubleheaders, it's very important to score first, and so far the Gatemen are finding obviously just 1 man on base here, but you want to try to minimize damage if possible in these shortened games.
First pitch to Mike Antico, a high fastball that David Avidia snatches down for ball 1, and Avidia just going to come out and have a word with his Schuster. And how much more confidence do you think it gives an arm out there when David Avidia is behind the dish?
I think it definitely does. We've heard and seen so far from other pitchers, and not even just starting pitchers, but just bullpen guys. I mean, they have nothing but good things to say about their battery mate. Guy not only pitch framing, but just calling games as well. Seems like he knows the right time when to go out to a pitcher and just talk things over with them and calm them down.
So a runner on first base with 1 down here in the 2nd. The 1-0 skied back behind the dish and out of play onto Route 28, and it's 1-1. Mike Antico, the batter for the Gatemen. Rising senior out of St. John's, hitting .281. Talk about Max Triani with a lot of hits. He's got 12 now in his first 10 games. Mike Antico with 9. The 1-1, fastball that he checks his swing on and lays off, and it's 2-1. Orleans nothing and Wareham nothing with 1 away in the top of the 2nd inning. Antico, an all Big East first team selection this past season. Batted .386 for St. John's. 2-1, fastball smack to the right side. Diving stop by Raymond Gill. Throws on his knees to second for the sure out. What a play by Raymond Gill, using his entire 6'2" frame to knock that ball down and fire a bullet to Eddie McCabe at second.
Well, how about a play by Ray Gill? I mean, that is just unbelievable. Again, he's not a natural first baseman, as we mentioned before, third baseman by trade, but playing a similar position over at first base and just takes away a hit away from Mike Antico.
So now Ben Sem's going to dig in with 2 down in the frame. Sem's a shortstop out of Kansas from the right side. First pitch cut on and missed for strike 1. Beg your pardon, we're going to get a pinch hitter here. It's Matt McClain. So Sem's not even going to take some licks in this ball game. It'll be Matt McClain, the rising sophomore out of UCLA. Check over on the runner at first base, but Amtico's back in safely. So I guess Jerry Weinstein said, hey, why have 8 lefties in the lineup with the southpaw on the mound? Let's go to a right-handed swinger. So Matt McClain, who is one of the most highly touted kids in his class, going to be the pinch hitter here. The 0-1 home will be held up. Schuster's pickoff move to first. Throw down from Gill to McCabe in time. So Schuster picks off Amtico to end the frame. And the Gatemen score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. We're through an inning and a half here at Eldridge Park. 0-0 between Wareham and Orleans. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second here at Eldridge Park. Orleans and Wareham scoreless, and Ray Gill will lead off the frame for the Firebirds. He made a heck of a defensive grab in that top half. Natural third baseman playing across the diamond at first. When a diving stop to his right, got up and fired a dart straight to Eddie McCabe at shortstop. So Matt McClain going to remain in the game and play shortstop for the Gatemen after pinch hitting for Ben Sems. First pitch to Ray Gill. Fouled off, and Gill coming up a little gimpy, shaking that right hand.
It looks like he check swing at that, got a piece of it, but it was shaking off maybe his thumb or something.
Here's the 0-1, a check swing that Gill can't lay off of on the breaker in the zone. It's 0-2. Ray Rising Jr. for the Miami Hurricanes, the 0-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Ian Bedell deposits of Gill, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, maybe it looked like just from that first pitch of the at-bat, it just looked flustered the rest of that at-bat. Just never really got into it.
So Danny Soretti going to take his first official plate appearance as an Orleans Firebird. Got in there a couple times yesterday. That's all washed out. First pitch to Soretti, fouled off down the left side net of play for strike 1. Soretti, a switch-hitting middle infielder out of North Carolina, an all-ACC freshman team selection. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball up in the zone that Soretti swings through, and it's 0-2. Wareham and Orleans, 0 apiece with 1 away in the bottom of the second. Bedell working quickly. Soretti trying to slow him down. Digs back in for the left side. Now Bedell steps off the rubber. Here's the 0-2. It's a fastball, misses up and away, and it's 1-2. Soretti, originally from Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, batted .299 this past season for the Tar Heels. The 1-2. Breaker that's tipped up to the right side. Second baseman Baker charges on. Sidearm throw to first base, and there's 2 away. So both pitchers look pretty locked in so far in this ball game. And David Avidia will dig in for his first AB of the afternoon. Avidia just 1 for his first 16 offensively, but he has been one of those unsung heroes behind the dish for Orleans. First pitch home, breaker that catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
He's the guy that really just, it doesn't show up at the box score, but he's a guy that is definitely a glue piece here for the Firebirds.
The 0-1, a breaker that Avidia can't lay off of, and it's quickly 0-2. Vidia picked up his first career Cape Cod Baseball League hit in the Birds' last game. The 0-1, beg your pardon, 0-2, a breaker that misses low, and it's 1-2. Check that. It was the last game Vidia played in. It was at Hyannis. Got the day off against YD, and I think a lot of people would have wanted the day off against YD the other night. The 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Bedell with his third strikeout of the afternoon. He sets down the Birds in order in the second. We'll head to a short break. Orleans and Wareham, nothing apiece through the first two. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the third we go here at Eldridge Park. Orleans and Wareham scoreless in the first game of two in Orleans Mass this afternoon. Matt McLean, who pinch hit in the second inning, but will get another chance at the dish after Mike Antico was picked off. That went 1-3-6 on the pickoff to end the second inning. So McLean out of UCLA going to get his first AB of this Orleans-Wareham matchup in 2019. Lefty on righty matchup. Here's the first pitch from Schuster. It's a fastball swung on line down the left side and out of play for strike one. McLean 0 for his first two to start his Cape Cod Baseball League career. Was selected 25th overall in the 2018 MLB draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks, but elected to not sign with the D-backs, went to UCLA. The 0-1 pitch. It's a breaker that misses low, and it's 1-1. The Diamondbacks offered McLean slot value at around $2.6 million. He wanted $3 million. Numbers did not line up. He went to go play for the Bruins out in sunny Southern California. 1-1, fastball cut on and missed, and it's 1-2. And to a lot of people, that wasn't a surprise because McLean grew up a diehard Bruins fan since the third grade and probably made it very clear to MLB teams at the time, but McLean elected to play for the Bruins out in L.A. The 1-2. Fastball tipped back by McLean. Lives to see another day, and we'll do it again. Now, if you wonder why Matt McLean grew up a diehard Bruins fan, not only did he live in California, his dad Mike played football for UCLA. His aunt attended UCLA as well. The 1-2. Fastball slashed down the right side, and we'll do it again. Here's a kid who was 44th overall in his class by perfect game. A lot of people thought the Diamondbacks might have reached just a touch to take him in the first round, but a surefire second or third round pick coming out of high school. The 1-2. Breaker that McLean goes fishing at. Ovidio will throw it down to Raymond Gill to complete the strikeout. Third strikeout of the afternoon for Schuster, and there's one down in the inning.
Well, it seems like so far early on in this game we're in a deadlock of a pitcher's duel. Schuster now starting out the second straight inning with a punch-out. Bedell for the Gateman as well has been dealing against these Firebirds hitters.
So Matt Rudick, the 9-hole hitter, will dig in. The first pitch home. A fastball lined over the shortstop, Danny Soretti, into right center field for a base hit. So Matt Rudick with the third hit of the afternoon for the Gatemen, and they're the best hitting team in the Cape Cod Baseball League because of swings like that.
You can jump on early in the count, too, if getting a fastball count. Rudick swings at the first pitch and able to lace one over the second baseman, Soretti, into right center.
So now Braden Ward will dig in for the second time today. The center fielder from Washington popped out to Soretti his first time out. One down here in the top of the third. Orleans and Wareham nothing apiece. Matt Rudick aboard at first. Schuster's first pitch home. Ward shows bunt and nubs it up the third base side, foul for strike one. Ward riding a 5-game hit streak into the ball game today. Not the biggest RBI threat for the Huskies this past season. Had 26 in 52 games, but already has 6 across the first 5 on the Cape. Long stare in from Schuster. Lanky southpaw working from the third base side of the rubber. Now he comes set at the chest and going to move over to first base, but Rudick dives headlong in. Rudick 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts this summer, was 6 for 12 this past season at San Diego State. If I'm not mistaken, Kelly Nicholson just gave Schuster a sign from the dugout. Wow. Nothing from David Ovidia there besides the pitch call. 0-1. Fastball chopped to the right side. Could be 2. Soretti's there. Just going to tag the base runner. Throw it to first base. Not in time. So not the hardest hit ball to Danny Soretti. Elected to tag Matt Rudick instead of the flip. But it goes down as a 4 unassisted fielder's choice, allowing Braden Ward to reach.
Yeah, it was a slow chopper, and Ward has some speed and running down the first base line. They were just able to beat it out. I think it would have been a tough play as well to get the flip. If he flipped it over, I think his best chance at a double play was probably to tag Rudick.
Runners going. First pitch in there for a strike. Throw down from Avidia, not in time. So Braden Ward showing off the wheel. Steals his 5th bag of the summer. He's in second place in the Cape Cod Baseball League with 5 stolen bases in his first 6 games.
Ward got a great jump over at first base and almost slid past the base as well. That's how fast he was going.
So the count 0-1 to Darren Baker, the second baseman out of Cal. There's 2 away here in the top of the third with the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless. Here's the 0-1. So fastball runs low and inside, and it's 1-1. Baker bounced out his first time up. Hit a ground ball to the second baseman, Soretti, his counterpart. But the son of longtime MLB manager Dusty Baker. We spoke to Dusty when we were at Spillane Field 9 days ago. Caught up with our own Scotty Gange and chatted that evening. It was a cool moment for Scotty, cool moment for Dusty as well to not talk about baseball, but talk about his son. Ward, a huge jump off second. He's going. Ovidia won't even make the throw on the curveball in the dirt. Schuster paid no mind to Ward at second. He swiped second and third, and he's 90 feet away with 2 outs.
That's what Noah Campbell did for YD against the Firebirds.
The 2-1 line down the left side. Troiani comes on and makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Jared Schuster works around Braden Ward running around the bases, and the Gatemen score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. Well, to the home half of the third. 0-0 between the Firebirds and the Gatemen. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Nothing between Orleans and Wareham as we head to the bottom of the third at Eldridge Park. Zach Daniels, the 9-hole hitter, going to lead things off for the Firebirds against Ian Bedell, who has looked especially sharp for Wareham. He's retired the last 4 he's faced after a 2-out single in the first inning, and has struck out 3 along the way. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. It's a curveball that misses low and inside for ball 1. Bedell sitting about 90-92 with the fastball, touching 93, but it's been the curveball and the changeup that have impressed scouts so far this afternoon. The 1-0, fastball lined into center field. Ward coming on, he makes the grab on a line for the first out of the inning.
We talk about Avita having a nice last game in Hyannis, but I think another guy that should get a lot of a lot of press as well, and is Zach Daniels. His last game against YD, probably his best game of the season here. Jumps out of count, 1 ball and no strikes, and lines one, rockets one to center.
Eddie McCabe now the batter. The first pitch, a fastball on the outside corner called strike 1. And Daniels puts on quite the show in batting practice, but it's starting to translate in competitive action as well. The 0-1, a fastball over the outside part of the plate, and it's quickly 0-2. Bedell working at a breakneck pace. The 0-2 home. It's a fastball lined over the head of Darren Baker into right field for a base hit. Eddie McCabe, his second hard line drive of the day. This one falls for a base hit, and the Birds, their second hit of the afternoon.
Well, good piece of hitting there by McKay. Puts it over, down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and shortens up his swing, chokes up on the bat, and goes where the pitch goes. That's right over the second baseman's head, and Baker.
So just 3 hits for Wareham. That's now the second Orleans hit today. First pitch from Bedell, a fastball on the outside corner called strike 1. Patrick Burns, a nice, loud, emphatic strike call behind the dish this afternoon.
Talk about the cream uniforms, too, for the umpiring crew.
If you've been rained out the last 2 days, I give it my all behind the dish. 0-1 pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's quickly 0-2. And Bedell is just pounding the strike zone in the early going as well. We talked about the 3-pitch mix he's offered so far today. That curveball sitting low 80s, 80, 81, and the changeup as well has been a nice off-speed pitch to work with. Already 3 strikeouts on the afternoon for the righty out of Iowa. He comes set from the right side, 0-2. Fastball misses up and away, and it's 1-2. Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing with 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd. McCabe on first base after the Birds' just second hit of the afternoon. Kokoska struck out swing his last time up. Back in from the left side. 1-2. Fastball hard chopper to the right side. Glove by the first baseman. Teeter steps on the bag. Throw down to first base in time. A 3-3-6 double play as Teeter makes the heads-up play. And Bedell gets out of the inning. So the Firebirds scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 3, Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing. We've got a pitcher's duel, folks. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the 4th we go at Eldridge Park. 0-0 between Wareham and Orleans. We'll get a pitching change here for the Orleans Firebirds. As expected, Jared Schuster is done after 3 marvelous innings. Kept the gateman off the board and only surrendered 3 hits and struck out 3 along the way. Chase Wallace, the right-hander from Tennessee, the next man up for Kelly Nicholson in this 7th inning of fair at Eldridge Park. Righty on lefty matchup, Dallas Beaver to lead things off. Here's the first pitch from Wallace. A fastball misses low and inside for ball 1. Beaver a single his first time up, sporting arguably the best name in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Should have gone to Oregon State.
That would have been quite the move. The 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball catch to the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Beaver, a rising senior out of Central Florida. He had the option potentially to transfer to Oregon State. Instead, he's going to grad transfer to South Carolina. The 1-1 from Wallace. It's a breaking ball cut on and missed, and it's 1-2.
One of the nicer ballparks down in South Carolina, Founders Park. Haven't been able to go down there, but would love to watch a game.
Wallace working out of the windup. The 1-2 coming. Breaker bounces low, and it's 2-2. Adrian Del Castillo and Cam Guangarena to follow for the Gatemen here in the 4th. With the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless in a pitcher's duel in Orleans, Mass. 2-2. Breaker tipped foul back to the backstop, and it's 2-2. Beaver 4 for his first 8 this summer, just playing in his 3rd game for the Gatemen. He started his last 114 games at UCF, batted .300 over that span. Wallace a deep breath, the 2-2 home. Breaker misses up and away, and it's 3-2.
That's a conference as well in the AAC that has some pretty good arms in there. At UConn, USF, Tulane, some good baseball programs.
Payoff pitch. Fastball rocketed down the left side. This one will run out of play, and we'll do it again. So 3-2 the count to Dallas Beaver with Adrian Del Castillo waiting on deck. Here's the payoff pitch once again. It's a fastball that Beaver chops into his back leg. He was still in the left-handed batter's box, so it's just a foul ball. And we'll do it again. Top of the 4th at Eldridge Park. Wareham and Orleans, nothing apiece. Chase Wallace making his 3rd appearance of the summer. 4 1/3 scoreless so far. Has struck out 5 across those first 4 1/3. Hasn't pitched in 8 days for Orleans. Was supposed to pitch yesterday at Brewster out of the bullpen, but then the game got canceled. 3-2. Breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. Hard slider came on the inside foot. Beaver, he couldn't catch up, and there's 1 away.
Well, that's what to make an entrance into a ball game. Strike out the first man you see, and this is the guy in Chase Wallace. He mentioned he made 3 appearances. Now this is his 3rd. Made 2 innings back at YD. Struck out 4 in the 2 innings, so he's got some strikeout material.
So Adrian Del Castillo, the batter. First pitch, he's swinging, grounds one to the right side. Danny Soretti dives. This gets under the glove into right field for a base hit. So Adrian Del Castillo with a 1-out base knock, and the Gatemen their 4th hit in this ball game.
Ball that just squeezes through the right side of the infield. It seems like that's been a lot of the hits so far for the Gatemen. Just able to make it through. Some hard hit balls, but
that's what Wareham does. They lead the Cape with a .290 batting average, but are tied for the fewest home runs so far this summer. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Guangarena. Fastball misses outside for ball 1.
I guess as long as you're winning games, that's all that matters. It doesn't know how you do it.
The Gatemen have done that so far. They're atop the West Division at 5-3-1 with 11 points. Del Castillo aboard at first with 1 away. Wallace set at the chest, the 1-0. Breaker misses low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. We've got 2 7-inning games as part of this doubleheader in Orleans, Massachusetts. The most we'll go is 9 if we go into extras. Second game supposed to start about 30 minutes after the completion of game number 1. 2-0. Breaker misses up and away. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Juan Guerrero was expected to be the DH today. He flip-flopped with Adrian Del Castillo, was in fact behind the dish. Juan Guerrero batting .292 to start his Cape Cod career. 3-0 from Wallace. Fastball right down the chute, and it's 3-1. Del Castillo, conservative lead off first base. Juan Garena heading the count 3-1. The pitch. Fastball up in the zone that Juan Garena cuts through, and it's 3-2. No score between Orleans and Wareham, with one down here in the top of the fourth. Juan Garena 0 for 1 this afternoon. Struck out looking on a gorgeous curveball by Jared Schuster in the second. See if Del Castillo goes with a full count. The pitch, not running. Fastball hit hard up the middle. Glove by the shortstop McCabe. Underhand flip to Soretti. On to first, a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. And just like that, Chase Wallace escapes out of the jam as the Gatemen score no runs on one hit, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. We'll head to the home half of the fourth. Firebirds and Gatemen deadlocked in a pitcher's duel at nothing apiece. It was in a Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fourth at Eldridge Park. Wareham and Orleans deadlocked at nothing apiece in an absolute pitcher's duel on a sunny Sunday afternoon at Eldridge Park. Tanner Murray to lead off the fourth for the Firebirds with the heart of the lineup to follow against Ian Bedell, who's been lights out on the mound. He used a 3-3-6 inning-ending double play to work around a one-out base hit to end the third. Righty on righty matchup. Murray digs in from the right side. First pitch from Ian Bedell. Fastball chopped back to the screen for strike one. Bedell so far 3 scoreless, has only given up 2 hits, no walks, and 3 Ks along the way. Murray drew a walk his first time up back in the first inning. Bedell working out of the windup. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball line to right field. Rudick ranging back. He's at the track, able to make the grab a couple steps in front of the fence for the first out of the inning.
Tanner Murray put a pretty good jolt into that one. See him swinging the bat pretty well so far since he's come on to Cape Cod.
So Max Troiani the batter now for Orleans, and Troiani a single his first time up like he has done so many times so far. First pitch, he's swinging, skies one down the right side. First baseman Jacob Teeter drifting in foul ground. Near the first base coaching box, he'll make the grab for the second out of the frame.
Well, Bedell so far, I mean, the Firebirds continue to swing early in counts, and Bedell's pitch count at the start of this inning was at 35 pitches to Murray through 3. So he's still probably, 3 pitches so far in this inning?
At one point, do you think about potentially pushing him for all 7 in game 1 of the doubleheader?
It's up to Jerry Weinstein.
First pitch to Josh Zamora, curveball catch the inside corner for strike one. Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing. 2 quick outs here in the fourth. The 0-1 to Zamora, fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1.
This is a very similar game to the game 2 of the doubleheader back in Bourne last Sunday.
The 1-1 to Zamora, a fastball lunged at and fouled off into the hill down the right side. It's 1-2. Seems like I get to call all these pitchers duel, Thomas.
Well, maybe next game, offensive just fireworks.
Will explode. We had a 9-run Orleans victory in Game 1 of the doubleheader last week at Bourne. It's a 2-1 finish in the second game. Some more back in from the right side, but now looking for his 4th K of the afternoon. The 1-2. Curveball misses low and inside, and it's 2-2. Zamora flew out his first time up, hit a hot shot to right field, but right at Matt Rudick. The 2-2. Curveball that Zamora looked silly on strike 3. Just looked like he was swinging a tennis racket at a wiffle ball and couldn't connect. 4th strikeout for Ian Bedell, who has been flawless through 4 innings of play. We've got a quick one on hand in a pitcher's duel at Eldridge Park. Orleans and Wareham tied at 0 apiece. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Kelly Nicholson told Scotty Gaines he was going to make a lot of pitching changes today, and we have another one in store at Eldridge Park after a scoreless frame for Chase Wallace. The right-hander from Santa Fe Community College, Donovan Benoit, will enter for Orleans in his first appearance in 9 days with the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless as we head to the top of the 5th. The big right-hander, Benoit, will face the bottom part of this Wareham lineup with Jacob Teeter to lead things off. And Benoit's been spectacular across his first 3 appearances. He's 1-0 and 4 2/3, has struck out 5 and has issued 0 free passes through 3 innings of just 1-hit baseball against the Gatemen 9 days ago in what ended in a 4-4 tie. So Benoit set to make his 4th appearance of the summer as we head to the top of the 5th here at Eldridge Park in a 0-0 ball game between the Firebirds and the Gatemen. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Jacob Teeter. Fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. Teeter a single his first time up. The Gatemen have had at least 1 base knock in every frame so far. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball right down the chute, and it's 1-1. Benoit, you just get that feel as a max effort guy. Swings that right leg right as he finishes. The 1-1. Breaker misses low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
There's a couple guys in the major leagues that do that. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but really pull themselves towards first base.
2-1 pitch home. So fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Benoit of Santa Fe Community College, committed to play at Tulane. He'll head there in a couple weeks to start some summer sessions before just strictly, I guess, focusing as a student athlete with baseball and academics. 2-2. Breaker that Teeter looks silly on goes fishing out of the zone. Avidia going to toss it down. First strikeout of the afternoon for Benoit. 5th for the Orleans staff, and there's 1 away.
Well, Benoit has looked good in pretty much every single game he's pitched in so far this year. He has helped the Firebirds out of some sticky situations. Again, him and Tim Miller probably been the 2 guys that are pushed into high leverage situations.
First pitch to Mike Antico, a breaker that misses low for ball 1. And Tim Miller unfortunately for him, got released late last night. Firebirds activating Shane McGuire, catcher and first baseman out of UC San Diego. One down here in the top of the fifth. The 1-0 to Antico. He shows bunt and pulls back on the breaker in the zone, and it's 1-1. No score between Wareham and Orleans with one down in the top of the fifth. He played a little more than 4 innings in about 52 minutes. The 1-1 from Benoit. Breaker that's tipped up the third base line. Avidia going to chase after it. This one rolls foul, and it's 1-2.
That was one of those balls, the foul balls that hit off the edge of the barrel. Could always have some spin on it, but reached the grass and the spin died.
So Benoit ahead in the count 1-2 with Mike Antico out of St. John's. Antico reached on a fielder's choice his last time up before being picked off to end the second inning. 1-2 pitch. Breaker that's tipped up the third base side. Murray is there, shuffles to his right, fires on to first, and there's 2 down. And this Orleans defense has looked much sharper after getting out the Bugaboos in the first few games. They made a whole slew of errors to start the year. But it seemed like Kelly Nicholson has found out where he wants everyone, if you will, defensively. Orleans made an error in game number 2 of the season and made a couple more against Wareham the first time around. Then they made 2 errors against Brewster and lost the game 2-1. First pitch to Matt McLean catches the strike zone for 0-1. The Whitecaps made 5 errors in that ball game and came out on top, but since then the Birds have played pretty much flawless defense. 0-1 to McLean. Breaker bounces low, and it's 1-1. McLean struck out in his first plate appearance. Came in as a pinch hitter in the second, but didn't take his first licks till the third after Antico got picked off. A 1-1 pitch from Benoit. Fastball high chop to the left side, but foul, and it's 1-2. Talked about McLean's dream of playing at UCLA. It came into fruition in the spring. McLean just batted .203 for the Bruins as a true freshman and struck out 64 times in 61 games. 2 down in the top of the fifth with the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless. Benoit's 1-2. Breaker chopped to the left side. Murray sticks the glove in the dirt, nabs it down, throw across the diamond in time, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Donovan Benoit, as Benoit's able to retire the Gatemen in order here in the fifth. We've got a pitcher's duel in store in Orleans, Massachusetts, and Thomas Zinzarello. Let's look around the Cape Cod Baseball League. Thomas, what's going on around the Cape, and what's a doubleheader here on Sunday?
Well, out at Catuit, the Whitecaps and the Kettleers are battling it out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kettleers own a 3-run lead over the Whitecaps. Of course, Brewster are leaders of the East Division, Wareham in the West. Here in Eldridge, top of the 5th again. Wareham and Firebirds still knotted up at 0-0. Top of the 3rd, YD Red Sox. They have a slim lead over the Falmouth Commodores on the top of the 3rd at Arnie Allen Diamond, 4-3. And then out in Hyannis, Harwich has jumped out to a 5-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks on the top of the 3rd at McKean Park. Bourne and Chatham don't get underway till 4:30 at Veterans Field. It's a little different for Chatham's doubleheaders. 4:30 and then 7 o'clock are the 2 games.
We will play the second game here at Eldridge Park 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. And we're scoreless still, Thomas, through 4.5. And what's expected to be a 7-inning affair. The most we'll stretch it will be 9 if it goes into extras. But both pitchers have looked extremely sharp. And we should say pitching staff for Orleans, because they've gone to the bullpen already. But Matt Troop's guys have done a great job all afternoon.
Well, they certainly have, and just one interesting fact so far is that Wareham had recorded a hit in the first 4 innings until that 1-2-3 inning pitched at the top of the 5th by Benoit.
First pitch from Ian Bedell to Raymond Gill, fouled off for strike 1. Firebirds and Gatemen scoreless as we head to the home half of the 5th at Eldridge Park. Bedell deposited of Gill on 3 pitches his first time up. The 0-1 in there for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Gill, a very talented player out of the University of Miami, a second-team All-ACC selection. Check that, third team. Was expected to be on the second team, then got third-team nominees. 0-2, fouled back, and we'll do it again. but strikeouts were an issue for Gill in his sophomore season. 68 Ks in 58 games. So a high strikeout clip, despite hitting .318 with 13 homers. 0-2. Breaker misses low and in, and it's 1-2. Gill expected his high school and college teammate Adrian Del Castillo to be doing the catching duties today. He'll probably be there for game number 2. You can imagine Jerry Weinstein going to shuffle the men behind the dish.
Maybe a couple words exchanged between the teammates.
The 1-2, a curveball swung on, grounded to the first base side. Teeter knocks it down, picks it up, barehanded toss to Bedell covering for the 3-1 putout. And they talked pregame. They were chatting up, just having some fun, probably talking some smack to one another.
So we saw yesterday between Zach Daniels and his teammate back at Tennessee, Alaric Solari. Another unique thing about the Cape League.
So Danny Soretti, the batter, the first pitch. Fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. Soretti 0 for 1 this afternoon. Bounced out to Darren Baker back in the second inning. Here's the 1-0. Fastball swung on, line down the left side and out of play, and it's 1-1. Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-1 from Bedell. It's a curveball, misses up and away. It's 2-1. Kelly Nicholson talked last week with Scotty Gage saying, you got to manage just a little differently in these 7-inning games. This is really the 7th inning of a 9-inning game, if you will. 2-1, fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Soretti, the number 2 shortstop out of the state of New Jersey, coming out of high school. 2-time county champ. Batted .440 his senior year with 11 home runs. Switch hitting middle infielder, batting from the left side with the right-hander Bedell on the mound. Here's the 2-2. Breaker on the outside corner, strike 3. Gorgeous curveball from Ian Bedell. It's his 5th strikeout of the afternoon, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Bedell continues to shine on the mound for the Gatemen. Again, that pitch count as well, 36 strikes, 16 balls.
First pitch to David Avidia, fouled back to the screen for strike 1. Bedell out of Missouri has been one of the best pitchers we've seen so far on the game. It's been an absolute nail start. 0-1 line by David Avidia into left field. Antico comes on. This one bounces in front of him. David Avidia with just the 2nd Firebirds hit this afternoon, as he has his 2nd hit of his Cape career. It's actually the 3rd hit for Orleans.
And you mentioned that now in these 7-inning games, the 5th inning is more like the 7th inning. Now we'll have to see if Kelly Nicholson is going to roll the dice or not.
It'll be tough to do with 2 outs here in the 5th with your catcher on first base, but we'll see if Skip elects to make a decision here. But Zach Daniels, the batter, the first pitch. Breaker that misses low and outside for ball 1. Daniels, a great swing his first time up. Hit a hot shot to dead central, but Braden Ward was standing right there. This kid has all the potential in the world. 6'2", 205 pounds. Looks like he could play linebacker on the gridiron. But it's been all or nothing at the dish so far in his early college career. 1-0, curveball, he went around on the pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-1.
Of course, Daniels, former quarterback in high school, recruited for the Division I ranks as well.
It's a very interesting kid, not only a 2-sport athlete in high school, but majoring in therapeutic recreation at Tennessee. Had plenty of offers to go elsewhere as well, besides the Volunteers. The 1-1 pitch, a fastball skied down the right side and out of play, and it's 1-2. Could have gone to the ACC, played at Georgia Tech. Could have played at Middle Tennessee as well. He's out of Georgia, elected to cross the state lines. But went to Tennessee, batted .200 as a sophomore this past year in 31 games. Hit 4 home runs in just 60 at-bats. But strikeouts were an issue for Daniels. 29 Ks in those 60 ABs. Avidia is on first with 2 away, with the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless here in the 5th. Bedell a check on the runner at first base, and Avidia, short dive back into the bag, but was able to scamper back. And the College World Series. Michigan, who's made the final, they'll take on Vanderbilt with the first game starting tomorrow night. 1-2, cut on and miss, strike 3. I'll finish my point, but there's a short slide going into third base. It went viral. I highly recommend you take a look. Strikeout number 6 for Ian Bedell. He is dealing through the first 5 scoreless as the Firebirds score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We will head to a short break at Aldridge Park. Orleans and Wareham tied at nothing apiece. Just in Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Another pitching change for the Orleans Firebirds. It will be the Cape Cod Baseball League debut for Austin Love, the big right-hander out of the University of North Carolina. The rising redshirt sophomore made 36 appearances for the Tar Heels to lead North Carolina to the Super Regionals in the NCAA postseason. Wareham and Orleans scoreless at nothing apiece as we head to the top of the 6th. Just 3 hits for Orleans this afternoon. 4 for the Wareham Gatemen in 5 complete innings that have taken a little more than 60 minutes. Righty on lefty matchup to kick off the top of the 6th. The first pitch to Matt Rudick. It's a fastball up in the zone for ball 1. Austin Love this past season at North Carolina. 36 appearances, an 8-4 record with a 3.09 ERA. 6'3", 235-pound hurler, rocks and fires the 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Love served as North Carolina's closer, but was not your traditional one-inning closer by any stretch of the imagination. The 1-1 home. So fastball misses low, and it's 2-1. Multiple occasions this season, Love would go 2, 3, even 5 or 6 innings sometimes out of the bullpen. 2-1 pitch home. It's a fastball popped right back up the box. Shortstop McCabe coming over just behind the second base bag. Makes the grab for the first out of the inning. Make it 5 retired in a row by the Orleans pitching staff. And Love's probably best performance, at least deepest performance, of this 2019 campaign. He went 6 1/3 of one-run baseball in the ACC Championship in pool play against the Miami Hurricanes on 86 pitches. Braden Ward, the leadoff man for the Wareham Gatemen, digs in from the left side. First pitch from Austin Love. Breaker bounces low for ball 1. Orleans and Wareham, just 7 combined hits in a scoreless ball game with 1 away in the 6th. Love working quickly, the 1-0 home. It's a fastball hard line drive to the left side. This misses foul, and it's 1-1. Terry Weinstein now awake at third base after that hot shot down the left side.
Really, either third base coach hasn't had much to do down there.
Gave a couple signs, not much more. Don't gotta hurt the right shoulder. 1-1. Fastball chopped off the front leg of Ward, and it's 1-2. And when Austin Love walked into Kelly Nicholson's office the other day, chatted with Skip after Love left the office, he was impressed. That guy is a physical specimen. 6'3", 235 pounds, practically of all muscle. Mount Ula, North Carolina native. Wheels and deals. And the 1-2 is coming home once Braden Ward digs in after taking his time. Here's the pitch from Love. Fastball lined right at the shortstop. McCabe leaps and makes the grab for the second out of the frame. So Eddie McCabe, a meteorologist one day, and a starting shortstop on the Cape Cod Baseball League another.
That was funny, too. I was chatting with them during that rain delay, and he said he used to do a little sports reporting at his high school, back in his high school days.
Comes from the same state as Thomas Cinzarella.
Not close to me, though. Not close to me. Actually, my roommate back at PC used to play baseball against Eddie McCabe.
First pitch to Darren Baker in there for a strike. Baker 0 for 2 today. Entered the day leading the Cape with a .400 batting average. Righty on lefty matchup, the 0-1. Baker bounces low, and it's 1-1. Wareham and Orleans, nothing apiece with 2 down in the top of the 6th. Love out of the winds up, the 1-1. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Fantastic story for Austin Love. Arrived at North Carolina, and they deemed him not good enough to play as a true freshman. Boy, were they wrong when he came back. 1-2, chop to the left side. Third baseman Murray makes the play. Throws across the diamond in time. And the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Austin Love in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut. Make it 7 retired in a row by the Orleans pitching staff. And I don't know where Scotty Gange is. I don't know if Scotty's expecting this toss, but we're going to send it to him anyway. Scotty, we haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on in this pitcher's duel here at Eldridge Park?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's extremely fun to watch. I'm kind of being the spectator for this ball game because we're getting ready for the post-game show. The Bird's Eye View post-game show volume 2 is going to be kind of a pre- and post-game show. We've gotten a full conversation with Kelly Nicholson from before the game, and it's going to be really fun. He told us all about what the game plan kind of is for game 1 and especially game 2 today, and then also just kind of reflected on the season as a whole, as what it's been, as this is game 10, take 3, and we're about to enter game 11. This one has been very fun, though, and I'm excited to watch the rest of it. Guys, we're playing baseball, and it's a great day.
A lot of positivity all the time from Scotty Gaines and some rockin' socks today.
Yeah, they're little peppers. I got them. It's like I think I got them online.
Wow. There's only 2 places you can buy things, either in a store or online, and Scotty Gaines got them online, folks.
I mean, we have to get some Firebird socks. Maybe we're going to talk to somebody about that. Maybe we could rep those some days. Give the Scotty will rep any type of sock out there.
Oh, Scotty will wear any sock imaginable. He's not afraid.
He's got SpongeBob socks. I mean, Patrick Starr on one of them. It's unbelievable.
Now, the question is, Fallon Tullis-Joyce, a former standout soccer player at the University of Miami, had about 150 pairs of socks.
Not even close.
How many, Scotty?
I can wear 2 pairs of socks every day of the year, and they'll be different every time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to
talk about an exciting ball game. That's an exciting fact for you.
You got to lay down a bed or something out in a room and just take a
I can't bring them
all.
I can't bring them all to school. It's very frustrating, actually.
Can you tell Angie Gange to bring them when she comes to Cape Cod?
Oh no, Angie Gange, she packs way too heavy. She'll be here for 4 days. She'll bring enough clothes for herself for the entire month. No way, Jose.
She can't bring the socks for Scotty, but we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Here at Eldridge Park with the Firebirds.
Heck of a segue.
And the Gatemen scoreless. In what's been a pitcher's duel at Eldridge with 7 combined hits. And we have a pitching change for the Wareham Gatemen. Probably a welcome sight for Orleans considering how sharp Ian Bedell was the first 5. It'll be the big right-hander Jack Anger from the University of Washington. A 6'5", 220-pound hurler making his 2nd appearance of his Cape Cod Baseball League campaign. He'll face the top of this Orleans lineup. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch from Anger to McCabe. A fastball line down the right side, slicing out of play. This will run onto the hill at Eldridge Park for strike 1. McCabe wanted just 3 hits this afternoon for the Firebirds. A line drive single back in the 3rd. He swung a good bat in this ball game. Also had a hot shot in the 1st inning. It just found the glove of Jacob Teeter at first base. Anger out of the windup, the 0-1. A fastball bounces low, and it's 1-1. Anger last pitched a week ago against Chatham. Through an inning, allowed 2 runs, 1 earned on 2 hits, walked 1 and struck out 2. 1-1 from the Bellevue, Washington native. Fastball misses low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. McCabe spent last summer with the Danbury Westerners for the majority of 2018. 2-1. Fastball runs inside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Hit .368 in the NECBL before coming to play 1 game with the Orleans Firebirds. Went 2 for 4 and has come back as a returning Bird. 3-1 to McCabe. Fastball rocketed out to right center field. Ward on the run to his left in the right center field gap. Makes the grab in the alley for the first out of the inning.
Well, McCabe has really squared some balls up today. That single back in the third. He also lined out in the first. That was off the edge of the barrel at the first baseman and teeters. So he's really looked pretty good today, even though he's 1 for 3 in the box score. He's hit some balls hard around here.
Zach Kokoska gonna dig in from the left side. Lone lefty bat in this Orleans lineup today. First pitch, fastball misses low for ball 1. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th with the Firebirds and the Gatemen scoreless. Should clarify that Danny Soretti, a switch hitter, but he is hitting from the left side with a couple righties on the mound so far. Righty expected to start game number 2 for Wareham as well. The 1-0. Fastball misses low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. At this point, it feels like the 8th inning in this 7-inning affair. Kelly Nicholson said that last week at Bourne, saying, hey, you might have to manage just a little differently when you get in a situation like this. 2-0 pitch. Fastball that's fouled off the home plate umpire, and it's 2-1.
Of course, the 8th inning here at Eldridge Park is usually around, give or take, 9 o'clock, 9:30. So it's still light out here, and the sun is still shining.
Here's the 2-1. Fastball hit back up the middle. The shortstop McLean shuffling to his left. Throw onto first base in the dirt. Scooped out by Teeter for the second out of the inning. Great defensive work by Wareham to keep this game tied at 0 apiece. And it's practically been perfect baseball on the mound and defensively for both of these squads.
Yeah, neither team is willing to give an inch right now. I mean, just from any aspect, from the defense to the pitching. Again, just a combined 7 hits between both squads here today.
So Tanner Murray going to take his 3rd AB of the afternoon. And Murray's looked good with the glove on the defensive side. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch from Anger. Fastball misses low for ball 1. Murray drew a walk in his first plate appearance back in the 1st inning, then flew out to deep right field. Firebirds with just 3 hits this afternoon. The Gatemen with 4. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball backs up Murray from the right side, and it's 2-0. Wareham will potentially get their last time up at the dish in the next half inning. The Firebirds hoping this time is their last time up, meaning they score a run and shut things down in the top of the 7th. 2-0. Check swing chopper back to the mound. Anger down to a knee, fields it, slight overhand toss to first base. Teeter pulls it down, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 inning for Jack Anger as we're heading to the top of the 7th inning here at Eldridge Park. 0-0 between Wareham and Orleans. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. with a video. Top of the 7th we go at Eldridge Park. Wareham and Orleans scoreless. And Nick Frosso, who put on a dunk clinic at Stony Brook Elementary School yesterday, will take the mound. He'll pitch the top of the 7th here at Eldridge Park in a very pivotal spot. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Dallas Beaver, chop to the left side. Tanner Murray running towards his left, throws onto first base for the first out of the inning.
Well, Murray's been busy over there now, back-to-back plays dating back to the last inning. Both ground outs, and actually there was nothing hit to him the first 4 innings, and then now in the last 2 1/3, he has recorded 4 outs. Crazy how baseball works sometimes.
So Adrian Del Castillo will take in. Make it 8 retired in a row by this Orleans pitching staff. First pitch to Del Castillo. Fastball misses low and inside for ball 1. Del Castillo, the last hit for Wareham, that came back in the 4th inning. Just a soft ground ball to the right side. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And you can bet that Ray Gill and Adrian Del Castillo shared some words at first base after Del reached. Righty on lefty matchup once again, the 1-1. Fastball skied back behind the dish, now to play, and it's 1-2. Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. If the Firebirds can keep the gateman off the board in the top half, they can walk it off in the home half. Here's the 1-2. Fastball, major league pop-up in front of the dish. David Avidia tossed the mask. Ray Gill coming in. He calls for the ball, drops the ball in fair ground, and Del Castillo reaches.
Well, that was just a pop-up just in front of the home plate area, but I think it started moving in on the air. The wind is blowing here tugging towards the Wareham dugout over here, and Avita tossing the mask, and I'm not sure if Gill maybe thought he was going to run over it or something.
So Kelly Nicholson going to come out and have a word with the home plate umpire, Patrick Burns, and Gill might have been in foul ground when he touched that ball, and it just landed in fair territory, and that's what Kelly's going to ask. What did Patrick Burns see on that last play? But I think it was in fair territory, if you want my honest opinion. Kelly just asking for an honest ask. That's reasonable. So Del Castillo, the go-ahead run on first base, and Cam Guangarena going to try it and drive him home with 1 out in the inning. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch. Fastball catches the strike zone. 0-1. Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing, and what's been a little more than an hour and 20 minutes at Eldridge Park to play the first 6+. Guangarena 0 for 2 today. The 0-1 from Frosso. Fastball chopped back up the middle over the leaping head of Frasso, fielded by Soretti, steps on the bag, throws on to first base, a 4-4-3 inning-ending double play. For the second time today, Cam Guangarena bounces out to end a frame, and we will head to the bottom of the 7th. The Orleans Firebirds will go for their first walk-off victory of 2019. Orleans nothing, Wareham nothing. Firebirds trying to walk it off here at Eldridge Park. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. The Orleans Firebirds will try and walk it off for the first time in 2019 with Wareham and Orleans scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 7th in the first game of this doubleheader at Eldridge Park. Pitching change for the Wareham Gateman. The right-hander from Cal State, Fullerton, Tanner Bybee, will make his 3rd appearance of the summer. He's been the closer so far in the early going for the Gateman, making his 3rd appearance. He's 1-0, has not allowed an earned run. 5 scoreless innings, 1 save, a walk, and 4 Ks. Les got a W 8 days ago against Tyanis through 3 scoreless. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Orleans. Max Troiani, Josh Zamora, and Raymond Gill trying to walk it off for the Firebirds in game 1 of this doubleheader. Troiani, a singles machine, had a base hit his first time up. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Righty on righty matchup. Bybee a deep breath. Here's the first pitch to Max Troiani. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Wareham nothing, Orleans nothing. Home half of the 7th here at Eldridge Park. A 6'3" right-hander sporting the stirrups. Rocks and fires 0-1. Curveball that Troiani goes fishing at, and it's 0-2. Max entered the day 5th in the Cape Cod Baseball League with a .355 average. The rising senior out of Bentley back in from the right side. 0-2. Breaking ball, half swing from Troiani. He went around. Guan Garena going to toss it down to Teeter to complete the strikeout. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Bybee. And
Well, once you got Troiani swinging at the first curveball, you knew that Bybee was going to go back to the.
So Josh Zamora will now try and be the hero for the Firebirds. And he's been the guy that has been the hero so far this summer with the long ball. First pitch, curveball misses outside for ball 1. You talk about catching fire at the right time. A couple fire trucks passing Eldridge Park just now. Maybe Orleans can use that to help the Birds leave the yard. 1-0 to Zamora. Breaker misses upstairs, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Wareham and Orleans, nothing apiece with 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Zamora 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Bybee comes set, wheels and deals the 2-0. Fastball rocketed deep left field, but Zamora out in front. This one hooking towards the corner. This one misses foul, and it's 2-1. That one at home run distance, but Zamora out in front.
Well, it's his 1 home run this year at Eldridge. Went out over the left field fence.
It was his first Cape Cod Baseball League AB. Came on opening night against the Bourne Braves. 2-1. Fastball that Zamora's laid on, tips it into Guan Garena's glove, and it's 2-2. Ray Gill, who hit 13 home runs this past season at Miami, awaits on deck for the Firebirds. Longest we'll go in this first game will be 9 innings. 2-2. Breaker tipped up the third base side by Zamora. Runs foul, and we'll do it again. Third baseman Dallas Beaver gave it a chase. Now he's back in position. 2-2 from Bybee. Breaker that's popped up behind the second base bag. Shortstop McLean comes over, makes the two-handed snag, and there's 2 away. So now the last 6 Firebirds hitters have been retired in order, with the last Orleans hit coming in the 5th. And Raymond Gill will try and extend this inning and give the Birds a chance at a walk-off here in the first 7 innings. They've had 7 combined hits, no runs for either side. Ray Gill 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Righty on righty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball crushed by Gill down the right side, but runs out of play, and it's 0-1.
Well, we talk about how the middle part of this lineup for the Firebirds has some pop. You know, Troiani, Zamora, now Gill. Each of these guys with home run power.
The 0-1 to Gill. Breaker that Ray lays off of, and it's 1-1. Ray, 13 home runs this past season for the Miami Hurricanes. Has 1 already for the Orleans Firebirds. The 1-1 pitch. A breaker cut on and missed, and it's 1-2. Firebirds have lived and died with the home run ball so far this summer. They've hit 6 already in the first 9 games. And they've given up the fewest on the mound. 1-2. Fastball just misses outside, and it's 2-2. So it's 2-2 to Ray Gill, and Gill trying to walk it off with the wind blowing in from center field. Here's the pitch to the first baseman. Curveball crushed, deep left field. Antico looks back. This ball is gone. Ray Gill walks it off for the Orleans Firebirds. The University of Miami first baseman with the first run of the ball game as Orleans comes pouring out of the first base dugout. The Birds were down to the final strike in the first 7 innings, and Gill crosses home plate. He is mobbed by all the water and the sunflower seeds in the ballpark as the Birds win it 1-0 in Game 1 of the doubleheader.
You can't write a better script, that is for sure. Ray Gill takes a hanging curveball there and just puts it over the fence in left field. And that's how you get Game 1 of a doubleheader going.
So Ray Gill with a solo blast, his second of the summer, gives the Firebirds a 1-0 win in Game 1 of this DH. Orleans advances to 5-4-1. They have 11 points. Wareham drops to 5-4-1. They have 11 points as well. And Scotty Gage is working his way over to try and get to Raymond Gill. And Ray, it looks like, is trying to find his hat, just trying to regather everything after smacking his second home run of the summer. Gets a huge hug from Kelly Nicholson. And that is how the Birds get it done in Game 1.
Well, it took really strong pitching, strong defense, and, well, the hits 4 apiece, but the only one that mattered was a home run by Ray Gill towards the end of that game. I think if you're either manager, you're happy with the pitching and the defense. You know, I'm sure Jerry Weinstein and maybe Kelly as well, you know, they wish could have gotten a couple runs more and earlier in the game.
So Scotty Gage is next to Ray, the hero from today's game. Scotty, tell Ray congratulations.
All right, first off, Josh White, team broadcaster, says congratulations. Ray, from me, from everybody, what a shot. Congratulations. I bet that water that was just splashed on you felt pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty cold. I mean, hopefully it didn't wet me too much because we had another game, so yeah.
A pitcher's duel the entire way, and it was depended on one pitch, and it was you. What'd you see, and how did it feel?
My first 2 at-bats were a little rough. I was just trying to stay simple, keep the inning going, you know, pass on to the next guy. He ended up leaving one up, and I put a good swing on it.
Felt like the second it hit the bat, you knew it was over. Was that how it felt?
Yes, sir.
It was fun to watch, Ray, celebrating at home plate with all these guys. How great was that for you?
It's a great feeling to celebrate with your teammates and seeing, like, the smiles on their face. So definitely felt good.
You turned on it. Does that help you get ready for the next game, Ray?
Yeah, that's a good start to the next game. You know, it's going to get me in a groove, hopefully, and hopefully I can build off of what I just did.
It's a great day for baseball, Ray. Congratulations. 1-0 win off the bat of this guy right here, Ray Gill, the Birds baller of the game. Congratulations, man. Thanks for the time. Guys, we'll send it back to you. We've got a fun Bird's Eye View post-game show coming up right after a few short moments.
And thank you, Scotty. That was our silent reporter, Scotty Gage, who was alongside. That was Ray Gill, the man of the hour here in Orleans. Hit the solo home run. He hit the solo home run again to put the Firebirds in the victory column over the Wareham game. And again, this is a 2-game doubleheader here on Sunday. Again, every single year, the East and West teams, they play 2 games. And the Firebirds were born in their first one. Now this one, home against Wareham. Just a quick recap of today's game. It was Jared Schuster out of Wake Forest who was on the hill for the Firebirds. Pitched 3 strong innings, 3 hits, no runs, no earned, 0 walks, and 3 punch-outs. Chase Wallace, Benoit, Austin Love, and Nick Frasso all pitched strong, just 1 inning each. As Kelly Nicholson said, he was going to use a lot of pitchers today because they haven't played a lot of games lately. So used a ton of pitchers, and, well, it paid off for the Firebirds. They got pitching from all over. Just a combined 8 hits in this ball game. Firebirds had 4, as did the Wareham Gatemen. For the Gatemen side of things, it was Ian Bedell. He's pretty much unhittable in his 5 strong innings. 3 of the 4 hits came off him, but they didn't come in bunches, that's for sure. Firebirds' first hit came in the first by Triani. They didn't even collect one until the third by McCabe. Picked up a single off the bat of Avitia in the fifth, and then the home run was the fourth hit. So only 3 singles for the Firebirds, and then the home run by Ray Gill. As the Firebirds has a strong message in game 1 of this doubleheader as they knock off the leader in the West Division standings, the Wareham Gatemen. Again, it was Ray Gill, the man of the hour here in Orleans, to take a 1-0 lead. And that pretty much did it for the Firebirds here. Again, game 2 will start in about 30 to 45 minutes from now. A quick first game as, well, we mentioned the pace of play. Each pitcher was just cruising through, really finding the rhythm. And Jared Schuster's a guy that likes to do that as well. He only takes about 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds in between pitches. And especially when he's in a groove, he's just going to keep dealing. And that's what Ian Bedell was doing as well, the right-handed pitcher out of Missouri. Just to take a quick preview at game 2. Noah Skuro is the right-handed pitcher that is going to get the start, get the hill, get the ball for the Firebirds. We're going to check in with silent reporter now, Scotty Gage. Scotty, we'll send it over to you.
Yeah, thanks. We're going to start off the Bird's Eye View post-game show. A quick recap of that game. Of course, not much to recap because it was a pitcher's duel up until the very end. You heard from Ray Gill, the guy who hit the home run, long gone over the left field fence. You knew it right off the crack of the bat. It was out of here, and you knew just the Firebirds team they were due. It's a team that has struggled hitting all season long, but guys like Ray Gill, guys like Max Troiani with the big bats, it felt like something like that was going to happen. And of course, a 7-inning game like this, it's pretty interesting to see. You know, it was a walk-up, it was the 7th inning, but hey, on doubleheaders, they'll take that for a W. A little breakdown of what the game really was. Jared Schuster, he started off, he was just immaculate. 3 innings pitched, no earned runs allowed, and he was just absolutely fantastic. That's his 2nd straight outing that he has given up no earned runs. He pitched 4 innings. That was last week in game 1 of the doubleheader against Bourne, and then 3 innings tonight. We've got lots of pitchers coming in today, and I talked to Kelly Nicholson earlier this afternoon to ask what the pitching is looking like with the fact that there's so many guys that have been pitching so far that haven't been pitching, in this rain, that everybody is, in Matthew Troop's words, hot. Everybody in the bullpen is ready to go, and we saw that today. We're going to have our broadcaster, Josh White, come in and kind of explain a little more. You heard him all game long. You're going to see him. He's going to sit in this chair. By the way, you guys, it's his 21st birthday. Those on YouTube, I know there's comments. You can type in, say something. Tell him a happy birthday. He turns 21 today. He only turned 21 once, and he is just slowly making his way over. I don't really know why, but he's slow today. And you guys, it was just an absolutely super fun game. Thomas, I'm going to send it back to you for a little facts and figures of this ball game. We're going to get the Bird's Eye View post-game show, and it's going to turn into a pre-game show a little bit later. The broadcaster for the other team in the Wareham Gatemen, he is coming on in a few short moments. Thomas, I'm going to send it to you. We're going to get this pre-game or post-game show rolling, guys.
And thank you, Scotty. Well done there. Is to wish my partner in crime, Josh White. It is his 21st birthday. Not every, I guess he turned, as he said, perfect. Well, he only turned 21 once, so Josh White gets a walk-off home run by none other than his fellow Miami Hurricane in Ray Gill. So Hurricanes having a big day. Josh White's birthday. Now Ray Gill with a solo home run. As the Firebirds walk things off, as Scotty attempts to find Josh White out there as he trying to get him on here for the post-game show. We'll take a look around now the rest of the league as well as we have some time. The Kettleers take game 1 over the Brewster Whitecaps at Lowell Park 5-2. Of course, here in Orleans, 1-0 win over the game. It just took an hour and 29 minutes. That's all it took. It was just one swing of the bat. That was the only run. Over in Falmouth, Waddy has crushed the margin. It's now tied at the top of the 5th at Arnie Allen Diamond, 6-6 ball game. Over in Hyannis, Harwich holding on to a 5-run cushion. It's a 7-2 Mariners lead in the bottom of the 5th from McKean Park. As Bourne and Chatham are just about underway. First pitch was slated for 4:30. So the winning pitcher over for the Orleans Firebirds today was Nick Frasso. Tanner Beebe will be the losing pitcher as Noah Skuro is slated to start game 2 of this doubleheader. right-handed pitcher out of Liberty. So again, the 4 hits today for the Firebirds. Eddie McCabe with a single, Triani with the other, Ray Gill with the home run, and David Avitia accounted for the other. So now we're going to send it back down to our side reporter, Scotty Gaines, with some more. Scotty?
And Coach, it was an exciting game in the fact that it wasn't really that exciting until the final pitch of the game. Ray Gill, the fantastic home run. How great was that?
Yeah, it was excellent. Me and Gilly had just talked in the dugout, and I said, why don't you hit a home run so we can go have lunch? And he followed through. He got a slider up in the zone. He's got tremendous bat speed and put a really good swing on the ball.
Have you had lunch yet?
Nah, we got to get the field ready first. But, yeah, it was a good pitcher's duel. I thought defensively for us, we spun a couple of big double plays. I thought we hit some balls hard right at them, but I thought the approach was pretty good at the plate overall.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like everybody was working counts. It was just 2 at least strong starters, and then the relieving crews came in. For the pitching staff for the Firebirds, what was the best thing you saw today, if you can even choose one?
Yeah, I mean, it was all pretty good. I thought Schuster had another really strong start. He was great last weekend, looked really good again in only 3 innings of work, and I thought all the bullpen has been really consistent. With his 2 pitches and really filling up the strike zone. And double plays are a pitcher's best friend. Whenever they got guys on, we were fortunate to get some ground balls, and the infield did their job spinning it.
I know we got 7 more innings of game to play, of a game to play today, and guys are kind of, it's a weird way of playing this doubleheader. You're full on focused. There's a home run. Everybody kind of celebrates, and now it's kind of relaxing, fixing out the field, and going back. How are you going to approach this and getting the guys to be refocused for game 2 today?
Yeah, and I think these guys, I mean, they're pros. You know, these guys will be ready to rock. I think it's always exciting when you have a walk off to kind of, get that momentum, and it goes back out to game 2. We got Skira on the mound. It looked really good last week, so hopefully he can come out and hopefully we can get the offense clicking a little bit more. I think the at-bats have gotten better each game. Now we just need a few more balls to fall, and I think a couple new hitters in the lineup. I think the Soretti from North Carolina's got a really nice swing. I think he's going to be a real good player for us. We got Rob Emery back in there this game, who's been swinging the bat really well. So hopefully we can put some hits together and go get 2.
Coach, good luck. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
We got 7 more innings of game to play. Let's have some fun, all right?
Roll Birds.
Go get lunch.
He's
going to go get lunch. Thomas, we're going to send it to you to throw it really around the Cape and what's going on so far today and what has happened this week. There's been lots of rain, but Thomas, help us fill it in just a little bit.
And thank you, Scott. Of course, a lot has gone on here on Cape Cod. I mean, just going back to the couple of rainouts, it has just been a disaster for baseball, really. Any time of trying to spend time on Cape Cod. I mean, some teams, such as the YD Red Sox, they only played 15 innings in about a span of 6 days or so here on Cape Cod due to, rainouts. They were fogged out in Chatham, and for the Firebirds, luckily, they haven't had really that much weather besides the game here against Falmouth. And then yesterday in Brewster was a little rain, a little lightning, a little everything going on. So it just hasn't been the greatest week for baseball, as we're going to send it back down to our sideline reporter, Scotty Gaines, who's with a special friend down there. Scotty, who are you with?
Are very lucky to have the Wareham broadcaster, Mr. Jonah Karp, hanging out here for the Bird's Eye View post-game show. First off, Jonah, do you like our little kicks here?
I do. It's very weird being here. I feel kind of uncomfortable, actually.
It's a little awkward. This is a merchandise table, the team flag with jumbie cords, or whatever you say, bungee cords.
Bungee cords, yeah. No, it's very nice. It's a great setup. I wish we had this. This is nice.
Yeah, man-made. This is a whole man-made studio.
Like this. Yeah, we're gonna steal this from you.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. So let's talk about the game
I've been
today.
jotting down notes.
Good, very good. Okay, let's talk about the game today. Of course, the Firebirds stole one from you guys, a 1-0 win. Ray Gill, the deep fly home run, but pitching was an absolute premium today.
See, I didn't even know this, but I was talking to Josh White earlier today, and he was saying that we walked it off against you guys last year, so now you guys got some revenge. It stinks that it spoiled a fantastic outing from Ian Bedell, because Bedell was the best we've seen from any Wareham pitching this season. Went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out, I think, 6.
Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we talked about with assistant coach Brendan Eigebrot how great the Orleans starter was, and Jared Schuster. He was phenomenal, but so was Bedell on your side, and the hitting really wasn't really finding it. There was hard hit balls, but just straight to the guys in the field, it seemed like.
Right, that seemed like a theme for you guys as well. Even the hard hit balls. I remember Zach Daniel back in the 3rd inning hit one right to Braden Ward. That was completely smoked to dead center, and it's just one of those days, I guess.
Obviously, you're the resident Wareham expert. You've got the polo on. So you're the expert.
Does this make me official?
Oh, totally. I mean, come on. I've got the Orleans polo
Right.
on. It's very official here. We're
Red
both
on
in
Sunday.
We're both in red. We're our Sunday Reds.
Like Tiger Woods.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Well,
but
thank you.
what are we expecting to see from Wareham in Game 2?
Well, the probable starter is Bryce Elder. We haven't gotten the official lineup yet, but that's the probable starter. He had a fantastic outing on opening day. He retired the first 10 batters he faced. And then the last outing wasn't as great. It was in Falmouth, and he struggled a little bit. I think he walked 4 in less than 2 innings pitched. So he's looking for some bounce back if he does indeed get the starting nod.
Darren Baker has been phenomenal in the first 2 weeks now. He was the Cape Cod Player of the Week for Week 1. Hasn't been much baseball in Week 2, but are we expecting to see him again in the lineup?
I'd imagine so. I mean, Darren Baker's been one of the more consistent hitters that Wareham has possessed this season, and he's probably the best contact hitter, and he's a fantastic fielder. So I hope we get to see him in Game 2.
I do too. He's very fun to watch. And Jonah Karp, thank you so much. He is the expert on the Wareham squad. But earlier today, before Game 1, I talked to the most premium expert here on Orleans squad, Kelly Nicholson. My interview with him coming up right here. Hey, welcome back into Bird's Eye View. We've got the pleasure of having manager Kelly Nicholson in here today. And Coach, it's been a whirlwind of a week. We've had 3 games, 2 games canceled, 1 game essentially ruined as the delay and the fog set in. In terms of rescheduling these games and calling them, cancellations like what happened last night, how much of a role do you play in that?
Well, I think the managers play a little bit of a role before the game gets started. We can make that decision, and it's really up to the home manager and the home GM and the home president and the home organization. And then once the game begins, it's the umpire's call, and that's what they did last night. They just thought that it was going to get too dark, and they called it. So I think we might have been a little lucky there. We might have caught a little bit of a break. We were down 3-0, and they were 3 outs away. They needed to get 3 outs in the top of the 5th, and then it would have been a complete game. But to get our pitcher ready after the thunder delay and the lightning delay, it was going to take 15 or 20 minutes to get Chase Wallace loose. And then by that time, it was going to be dark, and I think they made the right call.
Yeah, I heard you say that to him last night. You said that was the right decision. That was a good decision. Out of safety, I'm guessing that's what you meant.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you want to play we started an hour and 15 minutes late. It was, hey, let's just reset and play a doubleheader, and let's plan a nice sunny day in July and let the results be what they are.
Speaking of the doubleheader, we've got one today. It's a beautiful sunny day in June.
Yes, thank goodness.
It's great to be playing baseball again today.
Yeah, it is. We're going to throw a lot of guys today. Some guys need to get on the mound with the loss of 3 games. So we're going to shorten Schuster, and we'll shorten Skuro's start to probably 3 innings, and then give 4 guys an inning apiece in each game. They just need to pitch.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Matt Troop, and he said that, it's kind of nice because everybody in the bullpen is hot. Everybody can pitch today, and I know that definitely changes the way you approach tonight's game and both games, and the fact that you have so many guys that can and need to pitch really today.
Yes, it's a true definition of the phrase Johnny whole staff. So we're going to throw just about our whole staff today.
This is Game 10, Take 3 today. In the first 9 games, about to be 10 and 11. What have you learned about this team, the 2019 Orleans Firebirds?
Well, I always like our guys, and I've been really pleased with our pitching staff so far. I think they've thrown the ball really well, and you have to have good pitching up here to survive.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to play good defense. I know we're going to play good defense. We probably need to put the ball in play a little bit more. We have too many strikeouts, and we need to be a little more mindful on the bases. And I think when we do that, if we can do that on a consistent basis, we're going to see some good results this summer. It's a bunch of high character guys that care. So yeah, I'm pleased so far with the 9 games that we've played.
Yeah, you mentioned high character, and I think the coolest part for me this season was, I think when we were at Falmouth on Monday, the game was rained out. You had an incredible speech to the team and just respecting host families like their own parents. I know that's so important to you, and I just thought it was really cool, and I was wondering if you could kind of go deeper into that and how much respect means to you.
Well, it's part of our standard. One of the very first things that we talk about is the acronym PAR, and I do it with our students at Loyola High School too. It's no different. We're teaching life through math, and we're teaching life through baseball up here. And PAR stands for punctuality, accountability, and respect. And respect is super important, especially to the host families, because without those host families, this league doesn't.
There's no baseball.
There's no baseball. So we have to be super respectful to them and interact with them and engage with their kids and keep our rooms. We're guests. We're all guests.
Right.
So we have to be super mindful of that and understand that without those host families, there's no Cape Cod Baseball League.
In my conversation with Matt Troop earlier, I said I'm the guy wearing the Orleans Firebirds polo, of course, but I've covered lots of teams with lots of coaches, and this team with this group of coaches is by far the most fun for me. I feel like watching you guys, I'm learning to be a better person. So thank you for that.
You
Thanks
bet.
for your time today.
You bet.
Good luck
Thank
today,
you,
Coach.
Scott.